Tonight,
Is a helicopter down somewhere in the national park.
helicopter down with a family on board.
Got an aircraft in the bush down here at 2 o'clock.
And there's movement at the crash site.
The temperature up there at the moment is about 5 degrees. If the storm front hits before we get there, that's going to drop to about -5.
Crushed by a mountain boulder
How long have we got?
Here.
as storm clouds close in. And paragliding over the Tasman. How can anyone survive this?
We're doing winching.
The Westpac helicopter service has flown more than 80,000 missions in the last 44 years, helping to keep us safe. Who will be rescued next?
The wind is 060 degrees 1.
La Perouse, Sydney.
We got a call via air traffic control in Sydney, and apparently it's a helicopter down somewhere in the national park.
And Lifesaver 21 has been tasked to the Royal National Park for an urgent search and rescue mission.
So we're assuming at this stage that they're possibly in the water.
That's correct.
The last known location of the helicopter was oceanside of the national park.
POD on board.
Yeah, apparently 3 adults, mate, and 1 child, so that could be a bit ugly.
The pilot of the crashed Robinson 44 chopper is Peter Butler. On board, a precious cargo. His daughter Kate, son-in-law Chris, and their 3-year-old son Finn.
Well, I've got nothing sighted, I've got no oil slick, I've got no sign of anything at all.
Yeah, mate, likewise on the right at this stage.
Rescue crewman Tony is anticipating a water rescue. He has a grandson the same age as Finn. The stakes are always high when toddlers are involved.
Any job with kids can be heartbreaking with a bad result at the end, so no matter what, we'll all do our best.
All clear right.
With no sign of the downed helicopter,
Clear right. Clear left.
the rescue crew expand their search.
We're coming up over the land now.
Up ahead, air crewman Trevor spots something.
Got an aircraft in the bush down here at 2 o'clock. Copy, mate. They've gone down right into the bush there. Coming around, clear right.
But as pilot Rick approaches the crash site, he has to be extra careful.
Just a little bit worried about it may be hung up in the bushes, so I won't get too close, just so we don't knock the helicopter over.
The downdraft from Lifesaver 21 could flip the Robinson with disastrous results.
We got a head count?
I've got a guy waving at this stage, mate.
The man signalling for help is pilot Peter Butler. But where is the rest of his family? Roaring Beach, Tasmania. Paragliders Pete and Ramon are riding the steady breeze off the Tasman Sea. In perfect conditions, they take off for one last adrenaline rush.
Classic.
56-year-old Pete is recording the flight on his helmet camera. The breeze should lift him over this headland. But suddenly, he's hit by a gust of turbulent wind. In the heat of the moment, he makes a catastrophic mistake and heads the wrong way. Pete's mate Ramon has sounded the alarm. He was the one gliding with Pete at the time of the crash. The Westpac helicopter crew in Hobart is ready to respond.
That area at Roaring Beach, that's one of their go-to spots when the weather lets them. Often get a really strong southwesterly, which is too strong for them.
Early reports suggest that Pete fell off the side of the cliff after the impact.
He did actually fall 60 feet, it's got to be. It's potential spinal.
Pete's ex-Royal Navy and lives with wife Lorraine on their boat in Hobart. Paramedic Charlie has to prepare for a challenging rescue.
My immediate concern is access, how we're going to get to him, whether we can land, whether we'll have to winch to him. Obviously, I'm quite concerned on the potential for serious injury.
Pete's helmet camera is wedged firmly into the cliff face, and it's still recording.
Airborne for Roaring Beach, ETA less than 10 minutes over. Just wondering if there's any update on the location.
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, the information that I got was he wasn't on the beach, but it was close to it, so in the highland somewhere or over the dunes.
And true, we are below 60 knots. Check cabin security, clear doors.
Cabin is secure and both doors can go.
That's the cliff where Peter's come to grief. A frightening place to crash.
Anticipating on this headland somewhere, yeah?
Not there.
Actually, I think I've got the target right on the headland there, 2 o'clock, 40 degrees down.
Down below, the situation is grim.
He's quite close to the cliff edge. We don't want to blow him off.
No, yeah, he's definitely not moving.
That's Pete's voice you can hear off the helmet camera. How long can he hold on for?
Still recording, brother.
On a clifftop in Tasmania, paraglider Pete lies in agony.
There he is. The coke was down there.
His gliding mate Ramon, the one holding the camera, raced along the clifftop to get to him, to drag him away from the edge. This is how the disaster unfolded. Feet first into solid rock at 50 kilometres an hour.
Very, very lucky just to land on terra firma. He has got one broken ankle. The other one looks a bit ropey too. Ooh.
The Westpac Rescue helicopter from Hobart, Polair 72, is a welcome sight.
Got us, Peter.
Tail there, I reckon that's it. So
Yeah, that's it.
a nice big spot to land there. Yeah, it's pretty slopey. See Polair 72 on the ground with the patient on top of the headland.
Roger 72 on the ground.
For paramedic Charlie, it's now a steep climb down the cliff to the patient.
This terrain is really quite challenging and steep. I really don't think we're going to be able to get the patient back up to the helicopter.
How are you, mate? Yeah, not too bad.
G'day, Pete. I'm Charlie, paramedic mate from the chopper. So what happened, mate? You come down pretty hard?
Yeah, soaring along that cliff there. It moved a bit more that way and I thought I could cross over. Saw these cliffs.
Try and keep your head nice and still. We're going to try and look after your neck because you've got some injuries elsewhere.
Charlie's worst fear is spinal injury. Meanwhile, local Ambo Matt has walked for half an hour to join the team.
This is Peter. Hey, Peter. Come down pretty hard. It looks like he's probably got some fractures in both his ankles. Yep. Sore lower back.
As the paramedics get to work, the flight crew assesses the possibility of landing on the edge of the cliff.
My concern.
Blowing this around?
No, there's rocks. Yeah, we're doing a land on the...
We don't have to land, but you can...
Light on the skids.
You light on the skids, yep.
Yas thinks he can do it, but it's very tight. An uneven rock ledge on the edge of a precipice.
We want to be down here, we don't want to be up on this. Yep. We're up on this, we'll be in the rotors.
How's your sensation down here, Pete?
Good, mate.
Feel me touching there?
Yeah.
And there? Give your toes a wriggle for me.
It's a good sign, but they can't take any risks with his spine.
We're all good to go.
The sun is getting low. They have one chance to get this right. Yas is on high alert for the kind of wind gust that blew Pete into the cliff.
Start coming straight down for a second.
This has to be a pinpoint landing.
You've got 3 to move forward. Pleasure. 2. Are you happy to hold there?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Picking the patient up now.
It's a dangerous situation. One backward step now would mean disaster.
I have the feed in my hands now.
But it all goes to plan.
And he is safely in the aircraft. We are secure in the back. And you're clear to come straight up.
Nice work, yeah.
Good job, gents.
Clear to put Leno out. Clear to put him out.
The Royal National Park, Sydney. And the Westpac Lifesaver helicopter crew is ready to respond.
Going out now onto the skid.
Rescue crewman Tony will be first on the scene.
We really don't know if they're injured. I don't know their emotional or mental state.
He has grave concerns for everyone on board, especially 3-year-old Finn.
On the ground. Connect it up.
Tony is ready to bring a survivor out.
We'll take the first one and he can secure the landing site for us, which is really important.
It's the pilot's son-in-law, Chris.
Clear to winch up. Clear to winch it. Winching up now. System's good. Winch is coming up.
A 7 News helicopter arrives and begins filming their every move.
Nice and slowly. Under the skid. Slow down.
They get the first glimpse of what everyone has been desperately hoping for. The pilot's daughter, Kate, and her 3-year-old son, Finn.
Okay, mate, just keep sliding through. Sliding through, sliding through, and I'll put you in this seat. I'm going to buckle you up into the seat. All right, mate, all secure. That was really good. I think we'll go back in and do the mum next. We'll bring her up. Drop this guy off first, come back and get them, and then we can bring the young boy up as well, so he's with the mum.
The news crew keeps an eye on the rest of the family.
Approach is good.
Left-hand door's coming back.
All set for landing. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Clear to land.
Chris is dropped at a nearby clearing.
Get up there! Watch your eyes! We'll go and get the fam!
He now faces an anxious wait before his family can be reunited.
He's on the ground, he's connecting up the patient.
The Royal National Park and helicopter crash survivor Kate is next up the winch line.
He's connected up, got a thumbs up, taking up the slack.
Tony needs to bring her up first, so her 3-year-old son Finn has someone to cuddle when he's winched into the helicopter.
Coming up over the skid, you have a con, and Tone's up level with me, bringing him in now.
Finn's granddad, who also happens to be the pilot, is keeping him calm.
1, 2, 3, coming on board.
We're just going to go back down and get the young bloke.
Okay, moving him back over.
Rescue crewman Tony has a grandson the same age as Finn.
Out we go.
He knows the whole family is counting on him to bring Finn back safely.
Right now I'm fully aware of his emotional state and the fact that I'm a stranger, and I don't want to upset him, and therefore he'd lose grip on what's going to go on.
The 7 News helicopter continues to watch from above. It's all eyes on Tony.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, he's on the ground.
Let us say you're happy, mate. We're going to bring him up. We're in a different harness. So we'll take him up as good as we can.
A reassuring kiss from Grandad.
You enjoy it.
And some positive reinforcement from rescue crewman Tony.
This will be good fun.
Help calm Finn's nerves.
Once we take the weights here, we want to make sure that we come down nice and low.
Keeping the helicopter low will limit the time Finn has to spend on the winch.
Leno's got the hook, connected up, taking up the slack.
But it's still a long way up for a 3-year-old boy who has just survived a chopper crash.
Taking up the slack, clear to lift load with winch.
Clear to lift the load.
Winching up now.
The look on Mum Kate's face says it all.
Well done, mate. You were fantastic. Fantastic, mate. You were unreal. You were so good.
Mum and Finn are in safe hands.
Give me a 5. Give me a 5.
But there's still one crash victim to come. Finn's granddad, Peter. The Westpac Rescue Helicopter Base, Hobart.
Where he is actually fairly flat. Yep. It comes out on all spurs.
An emergency beacon has just been activated in Tasmania's Southwest National Park.
The situation with the weather is that there's a cold front passing through, so we may have to work a wee bit.
The cry for help has come from this man, experienced hiker, 59-year-old Dale. He was leading a group of bushwalkers to the summit of Mount Mueller when a boulder gave way and crashed on top of his leg.
Ground G'day, Police 7-2. We've got 4 on board for Stratford Gordon. All right, talks a match, guys. Coming up.
Police Officer Mick heads up the rescue. He knows the terrain well.
The area that we're going is very remote. The only way out for this injured hiker is by helicopter.
The EPIRB is a godsend. It works by transmitting location coordinates to the rescue team.
The beacons are that good, they resolve down to 15 or 20 metres. Hopefully, if everything's working according to plan, we'll go out and find him, get him back in one piece.
Thanks to the emergency signal, the walkers are spotted.
The patient's huddled over on the left-hand side of those boulders.
Mick locates a tiny patch of clear ground.
Right down there.
Down.
Pilot Dave has little margin for error.
Clear on the left.
Clear and skillet.
That'll do. Right, Dave, nice work.
Nice job. The helicopter is down safely, but Dave is worried.
Mick?
Yes, mate.
I won't shut down.
Roger.
The weather looks like it might be miserable here in half an hour.
Paramedic Richard wastes no time.
Hi, I'm the paramedic. Go and have a look at our patient, eh?
It's treacherous terrain. Richard needs to be careful not to give the mountain another victim.
Oh, I'm not hurt myself. Hello.
Hey,
I'm Richard. Who are you?
Dale.
Dale.
Yeah, mate.
What have you done, mate? Broken a leg?
Yeah, bottom right.
Okay, how bad is it?
It hurts.
Pretty bad.
It's a suspected broken tibia. A boulder gave way and rolled onto his leg.
Have you taken anything for pain relief?
Nothing.
Feeling light, guys.
The helicopter radar gives Dave an absolute deadline.
How long have we got here? 17 minutes.
17 minutes, and the clouds are closing in.
Dale's in a lot of pain, and we can also see the cold front coming towards us. Our urgency at the moment is to package Dale up and get out of here as quickly as we can.
Okay. And we'll shut down. Scared?
Not going to shut down.
Okay.
Shut down.
Given the weather and the wind, we're going to be fairly quick. What we're going to try and do is grit our teeth and bear it.
Mount Mueller, Tasmania. The Westpac Rescue Crew has to get injured bushwalker Dale off the mountain before the storm hits.
What we're going to try and do is grit our teeth and bear it. The weather's unstable here.
But Dale needs urgent pain relief before he can be carried onto the chopper.
Now, the idea with this is you breathe in through this mouthpiece, you hold it.
That green whistle is infused with methoxythorane.
So take a couple of breaths first.
A powerful analgesic that will help ease Dale's pain.
Just leave it in your mouth and keep breathing. You're going to feel a bit...
It'll give you the head spins, yeah? Yeah. Okay, hey. Have a little bit more.
It's working, but Dale is suffering from a suspected broken leg.
Yeah. Okay, coming up on 3, 1, 2, 3, lifts.
It's slow and tiring work.
If you need a break, call it. So.
Pilot Dave continues to monitor the approaching storm. Snow, rain and high winds are the last thing they need right now.
The main danger is the tail rotor. We don't want to get anywhere near the tail rotor. You will be going in head first.
They've got Dale into the helicopter just in time.
Coming up, mate. Here to come straight up.
Dave sets a course for Hobart Hospital. He'll fly around the looming storm.
On this occasion, Dale was lucky. The weather on top of the mountain was pretty marginal and we got out of there just in time.
Go to the receiving officer. Everything's good, mate. We're going to go and get your grandpa, all right? We'll see you later.
Crash survivors Kate and Finn have arrived at the staging point.
And you can climb now, mate, coming up.
Kate's father, Pete, is last to be rescued.
Tail and mains are clear. Position, and down we go.
It's a miracle his family even survived.
On the ground.
Mate, you're successful. Yeah, well, before I go up, mate, good on you. For somebody who's been flying for a long time, that's a bloody good effort. Good on you.
Connecting up.
We're ready for extraction, mate.
Little lift the load.
It's been a horror day for the chopper pilot, but he'll soon be reunited with his family.
And we are all secure in the back. We're right to head up to the staging point. Thanks, mate.
As to what happened, why the chopper crashed, the Robinsons suffered a mid-air mechanical failure and lost power. Peter was commended for his ability to bring the aircraft down safely. The whole family are lucky to escape without any serious injuries. The quote of the rescue goes to pilot Peter, who calmed his frightened grandson by saying, "Sometimes we land at the airport. Sometimes we land in the bush." Tonight, a freak accident on the family boat.
EPIRB is going off, maybe about 10 k's offshore.
And now little Henry is unconscious. A lady's weekend escape ends in tears, as Barb is forced to face her greatest fear.
I'm just shaken and frightened of what's going to happen.
And where are the missing surfer boys from Maroubra?
We're doing winching in there.
The Gold Coast, Queensland. And the Westpac Lifesaver Rescue helicopter is responding to an emergency way out at sea.
And George, you keep searching on your side.
The EPIRB alert has come from Mark, a Brisbane father of 3. He and his boys love nothing more than fishing. But today's trip has ended in tragedy.
Door, I'm gonna open door. Doors coming back.
Yeah, open door.
Roger, doors open.
The Gold Coast helicopter is homing in on the EPIRB signal.
I have got a boat over here about the 11 o'clock mark.
It's Mark's ocean runabout. He and two of his boys are struggling to stay afloat.
George, you can start getting ready for possible winching into the water.
There's not a second to waste. They get straight to it.
PB, I'll go for any children first if there is any.
Roger.
Jill is a lawyer and a volunteer rescue crew officer.
These patients are in the water, they could be unwell or injured, so it's important that we can remove them from this dangerous situation as quickly as possible.
She's coming out. Got 100 to run, line is good, speed is good. You got 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
As Jill gets closer, she confronts a distressing scene. Joe isn't wearing a life jacket, and little Henry appears to be unconscious.
Good, have I got Julie?
Yeah, Julie, that's it.
Hey Julie, we are getting ready to come and hopefully help you. Just keep her warm and happy and we'll be there as soon as we can.
At the Westpac Rescue helicopter base in Hobart, a cry for help has come in from a group of women in distress.
They are at the northern end of Hazards Beach on the Freycinet Peninsula. I've spoken direct to Julie and I've told her our ETA and to secure all their gear and we'll come and try and help get her out of there.
A week ago, these 5 women all lost their jobs when a local hardware store went belly up. To lift their spirits, they decided on a girls' weekend away.
Those days are over. Yeah. Onwards and upwards now. That's the way.
But it's all gone horribly wrong in the Freycinet National Park. 64-year-old Barb, that's her on the right, has had a nasty fall.
The Paradise Gorge. Doesn't look like paradise today though, does it? The northern end of the beach, there may be someone there. Well, there's definitely someone standing. Yep. So on the nose now, 1 kilometre.
The hikers wave the helicopter down. Barb is in a bad way. Her friends do their best to keep her warm. The rescue crew hike their way in through the scrub.
G'day. You good?
We were coming for a walk, just to stop for lunch, and then just slipped on that big rock down there and went for a tumble.
Barb may have broken her ankle, and she's showing symptoms of shock. They'll have to winch her out.
Looks like a reasonable injury, so she wouldn't have gone anywhere, definitely.
Barb's not happy, but at least her friends find something to laugh about.
A girls' weekend. Yeah. As you can see, we're experienced walkers. Have all the equipment we need. Lots of food. That's about it.
Things are getting serious for paramedic Peter.
All right, does that feel okay?
Yes.
Hasn't made it worse?
No.
Excellent.
He has to stabilise Barb's injured ankle and keep her calm.
Because of Barb's injuries, it's going to be a lot easier and safer to winch her out of the area.
But just the thought of being winched up into the helicopter is terrifying her.
I'm just shaking and frightened of what's going to happen.
On the Gold Coast, Dad Mark is fighting to save the lives of his 2 sons, Henry and Joe. His wife and 3rd son, Jack, are at home and have no idea of the unfolding family drama. Little Henry appears to be unconscious.
I'm going to take one of the boys up first and then I'm going to come back.
Westpac rescuer Jill has to decide who to winch first.
So my priority is the older boy, just because he doesn't have his life jacket on.
8-year-old Joe has been in the water for almost 2 hours without a life jacket, all the while holding on to his brother Henry.
Let go of your little brother. Just let him go. I need to take you.
How they wound up in this terrifying situation will come later.
I've got you, mate. Just stay with me. That's the boy. You're doing well.
But one thing's for sure. Joe is a hero. He stopped his brother from drowning. He's first up.
She's connecting up the patient still. She's still got the patient. Got the thumbs up, ready to winch in. Clear to winch in. And winching in. They're clear of the water, still coming up. Still winching in.
Roger.
Just winching in, still coming up. She's at the skid with one person.
It's okay, you're nice and safe in the aircraft. There's nothing to worry about, you're okay. I just need you to sit there nice and still for me, okay?
Mate, we've got 2 more in the water. Ready for another winch.
Jill's straight back down to rescue Henry.
She's in the water.
One holding.
Roger.
But Henry is still not responding. It must be agony for his exhausted father to hand him over, not knowing his little boy's fate.
He's not looking at me, and he has his eyes closed.
In Tasmania's Freycinet National Park, injured walker Barb is terrified of being winched up into the helicopter. She's afraid of heights.
What will happen now is Peter will be here beside you, the hook will come down, I'll give it to him and he'll hook you both up. It'll only be a short winch, like 30, 40 feet.
Thanks, Jules. Got up. Bye. Take care.
Anxiety can be crippling, but there's no turning back.
Yankee 92. Are you ready or do you need some more time?
We are ready, if you're happy with this spot.
Have the hook. Position is good hold. They're connecting up the patient. Position is good hold. Give a clear thumbs up. Clear to move back 1.
Finally, the moment she's been dreading. Barb can't bear to look.
Let's do a stop winch check. That is fine. Bringing the patient up to door level. Putting my head in the cabin. You have the con. Got a sore leg, so we'll just gingerly get her in up on this seat. Pleasure.
Safe at last, Barb can open her eyes and sneak a quick look at the view. Her girlfriends made their own way back through the national park. Out at sea, Brisbane man Mark is battling to save his unconscious 6-year-old son Henry. Summoning the last of his strength, Mark hands Henry to Westpac rescuer Jill.
He's cold when I feel him. He's not looking at me, and he has his eyes closed, but I hold on to him for dear life.
Connected up. She's getting the thumbs up.
And clear to winch in.
Roger. Mine's all good. Tail's all good. At the skid. Coming in
Roger.
the cabin. Mate, we've got a young boy. Mate, this kid's not looking good here.
Not looking good?
Nah, not looking good, mate. I'm going to put him in the back with his brother.
Henry is breathing and he has a pulse, but he's freezing cold.
Keep him warm, give him a big hug for me. I need to go get your dad.
They need their dad more than ever now.
That's the boy, good work.
Okay, 1 to go. Hand the con to you.
Roger, come back and right, and tell me when you get reference to the boat and the patient.
Coming back and right.
Roger.
And I have reference again.
Roger. I'll just wait for a signal from her.
Mark is a big fit man, but his strength's all but gone. He's been fighting to keep his boys alive for almost 2 hours.
Look, I've got the thumbs up now, it's all good.
Clear to winch in.
Roger. 50, 40, 30, coming up still. Coming on board.
Moving forward, I have con.
Roger.
Mark's exhausted, but his only thought is for the safety of his boys. Henry is still unconscious. Henry's hypothermic, Jill must get him to respond. The Westpac Lifesaver Rescue helicopter is racing towards Brisbane Hospital. Cold and exhausted, little Henry is still not responding. After spending nearly 2 hours in the ocean, Jill applies a sternal rub, a short, painful rub on the chest with her knuckles. He's made a sound. It's a relief, of sorts.
I want to get you some oxygen, help you breathe a little bit better, okay? I'm going to wrap the boys both up in a blanket to keep them nice and warm, and I'm just going to keep an eye on them as we go to hospital.
Mark is the last to get attention for a nasty gash on his arm. His boys owe their lives to him, and the story of what happened is terrifying. It all started after their runabout hit a submerged log in the water.
The boy went over, we were all inside, we had air bucket, we'd taken life jackets off to get out, and he got caught up inside.
The brothers had to cling to the boat while Mark repeatedly dived back under to retrieve their life jackets and the emergency beacon.
He got back in about 3 times to get the life jacket, and then finally got the ether about an hour after he actually turned over, so...
It's miraculous. They all made it out alive.
We've made sure that 3 family members have come home to the rest of their family today.
Hi Julian, it's Henry here. Thank you for saving me, my dad and my brother.
Don't normally get thank you messages. Normally we rescue people and we don't see them again, so it's really special.
Lifesaver, Rick speaking.
The Westpac Lifesaver Rescue Helicopter Base, La Perouse, Sydney.
Water job, Lurline Bay.
And a distress call has come in. The details are sketchy, but it appears 3 board riders are trapped in treacherous surf and can't get back to shore.
We're on our way.
Aircrewman Trevor is a local and knows the area well.
I actually have surfed the place myself before, very treacherous bay. We have a huge sea running at the moment and there's no beach there, it's a rock outcrop.
Simon, Jordan and Colin are best mates. They've been riding waves since they were kids. This is home video footage of them at Maroubra Beach. If they're in trouble, it must be serious.
Lifesaver 2-1's departed base for Lurline Bay area.
The rescue team begins its search.
Look at the size of those swells there today.
How could anyone survive being pounded against those rocks?
Worst case scenario, they're being washed up the rocks, and in this size surf, they're getting bashed against the rocks up and down and can't get out of it.
They're absolutely massive.
Rescue Officer Sean is on high alert.
We don't really know whereabouts exactly in Lurline Bay they are.
The boys have got into trouble within full view of some of Sydney's most expensive real estate.
There you go on that left-hand side, nothing sided obviously yet, Sean?
No, it's still nothing sided at this stage.
Have a look at this set coming through now, it's monstrous.
Monstrous waves and missing surfers.
Just looking for any sign of life in there at this stage, mate.
These conditions are out of control. How are we going to find these people?
Geez, there's some big waves down here.
Lurline Bay, Sydney, and the Westpac Lifesaver Rescue Crew is searching for 3 missing surfer mates.
Huge. What were they doing out there today? Unbelievable.
Okay, I've got them. I think I've got them at the 9 o'clock cup left.
Coming left.
Yep, have them sided, mate.
The boys managed to get away from the rocks.
You can come down a bit lower and I'll just see if I can get a thumbs up from them.
But it's still more than 2 kilometres to the nearest beach, and Trevor's looking for a sign that they're okay.
Mate, nothing happening here. I think we may have to put Sean in the water, Rick.
Copy that, mate.
They are together, that's a bonus, but fatigue would be setting in. They'd be quite stressed. The ocean is unforgiving. When you're tired, it would be so easy to perish.
Moving Sean over to the door.
It's not only the boys' safety Trevor has to worry about.
Clear to start winching down.
Rescue crewman Sean will also have to battle the 4-metre swells.
50 to run, line is good, speed is good. Clear to put him in the water?
Clear to put him in the water.
Okay.
The boys are grateful to see him. Now for the bad news. Sean can only take 2 in the chopper. They're fatigued, dehydrated, and don't want to leave a mate behind.
We've got a lifeguard on a wet bike approaching.
Extra help is at hand. The Maroubra lifeguard spotted the helicopter from the beach and has raced 2 kilometres on his jet ski to get here.
Hopefully the jet ski will be able to help us and take someone back around into Maroubra for us.
We need to make a decision. Who's coming with me?
Rescue crew member Sean must now get 2 of the boys up and into the cabin.
Just going to put this strap around here.
More monster sets could come through at any moment.
What you're going to do is make sure you can hold on to it here, but you just got to keep your arms down.
Clear to winch in.
Clear to winch in.
Big sea here, pretty quick here. Sean's connected up. Clear to move him over.
Yeah, swim into the door.
And mate, clear to slowly run in.
It's running in now.
Slowly out of the water. Up over the skid now. It's coming up level with 3 now. Coming in the door now.
Jordan is in, but his mates are still struggling. It's straight back down for Sean.
Which is on the way down, halfway down. 10 off the water. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's in the water. And harness is going on the subs up. And clear to winch up.
Clear to winch in.
Winching up now. Halfway up. Bringing him on board. Sean's just securing the first surfer.
Person will have to just jump in the front there.
With Simon on board, the jet ski can now take Colin plus the surfboards. The conditions remain treacherous and the swell is huge, so the chopper shadows the jet ski in.
Follow him back in, make sure he's all okay.
Absolutely.
It was a close call for the board riding mates. They're young and fit, but these conditions today have pushed them to the very edge.
Position looks great, guys. We'll go in and land.
Copy, mate.
Thanks.
Tonight,
Hey mate, is that a couple of young girls down there?
best friends caught in a deadly tidal trap.
Mate, just try to give them a thumbs up, see if they're okay.
Yeah, they're not really responding.
Obviously concerned that his condition will deteriorate while we're travelling.
Stranded on a remote island with chest pains.
So do we know where on this island these blokes are?
Can the rescue crew get to Stuart in time?
Is there one side that's sorer than the other?
And she was pinned against a wall by an out-of-control car.
She's got some significant lower limb injuries.
Granny vows fight for survival.
Clear to winching in.
North Head, Sydney.
The size of those waves today.
Yeah, smashing in.
And the crew of Lifesaver 21 is returning to base after a morning hospital run. The 10-foot swell has turned the coastline into a deadly tidal trap.
Historically, it is a hotspot for us along that area. Multiple fatalities over the years.
Rescue crewman Tony has 33 years in the service. He's got no illusions about the dangers below.
Hey mate, is that a couple of young girls down there? Rrip, can you just come around, mate?
Copy, mate.
They've spotted 2 girls stranded on a rocky ledge. Their escape route cut off by the waves.
4 metre ocean swell, a 1.8 metre high tide. From the moment I saw them, I knew that they were in trouble.
Besties Sinead and Izzy were spending the day together before Sinead planned to fly to London. The girls had checked on the tide but got blindsided by the rising swell.
Mate, just try to give them a thumbs up, see if they're okay.
Yeah, they're not really responding.
The high tide is fast approaching.
I think we should get them out of there before they end up in the water.
So much for Sinead's travel plans. The Westpac Rescue Helicopter Base, Tasmania.
See ya. Bye.
A desperate call for help has just come in.
There's a man on Babel Island, which is just to the east of Flinders Island on the top of Tasmania. And he's suffering from chest pain, so there's a chance that he might have a heart attack shortly. So we've been activated to go and get him.
The person in trouble is 52-year-old Stuart Wheatley. He's the one on the left.
We'll land, assess the patient quickly, then we might just have to snatch and grab him and get fuel on the way back.
Stuart's part of a team eradicating an invasive weed on Babel Island, a remote bird sanctuary in the Bass Strait.
There's no established town, there's just a couple of huts.
Today's rough seas means heli rescue is the only option.
Get lights out. Thanks.
It's a 90-minute flight across Tasmania.
Obviously concerned that his condition will deteriorate while we're travelling, but we can't go any faster than we can go, so just have to assess when we get there.
Speed versus safety. It's always a delicate balance, but with heart stress, every second counts. Stuart's medical history is a red flag. His dad had a heart attack just 18 months ago.
No lightning in the area, but it's possibly building up, yeah.
So do we know where on this island these blokes are?
There's 2 huts on the beach and there's another hut on the hill. We're going to park beside the orange tractor. Someone will he'll either be at the orange tractor or someone will take us to him.
Tasmania. 4 seasons in a day.
Which bit are you going to actually aim for? That mound there with the dark grass on it, or the one on the left with the no dark grass?
This, I'll back over the tractor actually.
Right up. Car's clear. Continue coming down. Hold there. Feel pretty stable, yes?
Yeah, pretty good.
Okay, if you just keep it running, we'll go and see what's going on.
Roger.
Chest pain is like a time bomb. Pete knows the clock is ticking. North Head, Sydney. And the crew of Lifesaver 21 has spotted 2 teenage girls trapped on a rocky ledge. Sinead and Izzy were out on a coastal walk and got blindsided by the rising swell. It's anything but groovy.
And you know what, I'm not happy to leave them down there. I'm just looking to the south there and to the north. They're really cut off.
A winching operation is the only option.
Keep them both on board, or are you going to drop one off and bring the other one back? Yeah, just one at a time there, Tony.
The aircraft's hospital-run seating configuration prevents them from carrying both girls at once.
Just confirm where you're going to winch me to.
You see there's a rock just a bit higher of the rest of the rock platform there. Put you right in the middle of that.
It's as tricky as it gets. They're 30 metres up. Sean needs to drop Tony bang on target.
Tony's coming over the skid.
The first thing you do is face the surf. You make sure that there's not a big swell.
I've got past the slow down. Position is good. Main is clear, tail's clear. Halfway down. Tony's on the ground. Give us a thumbs up signal.
So I had to sort of make my way off that rock down into a gutter that had fast flowing water running through it. And then make my way up a moss-covered sloping surface to the base of where the girls were standing on their little ledge platform.
The swell is rising. There's no time to waste. Tony fastens Sinead to the winch harness.
Lots of portable. We're going to have to bring one of these girls up at a time and then winch you back down once the first one is in the cabin.
Understood. I'll get the second one ready while you drop off.
Clear to winch in.
Probably you're clear to winch in.
Halfway up. Coming over the skid now. And my eyes coming inside.
Sinead's safe, but best friend Izzy is still in peril. Sean and Tony have to do it all again. Tony makes his way back to a very relieved Izzy. While Lifesaver 21 carries Sinead to a nearby clifftop park, Tony gets Izzy ready for extraction. Sinead's good to go. It's a fast turnaround as the crew heads back for Izzy.
Clear to winch in, winching in. 10 below the skid. It's coming over the skid now. Bring Tony into the door. Patient in the seat.
Mission accomplished.
As there were no injuries, we were happy to release them into their own care. It was more of a preventative action because we had seen so many people injured and killed in that area in the past.
Besties Izzy and Sinead have had a lucky escape.
2 young girls going home to their families that may not have otherwise done so.
Babel Island in the Bass Strait. It's as remote as you get, and that's part of the problem.
How far away is he?
Just here now.
Oh, he's just here?
Yeah.
Because 52-year-old Stuart might be having a heart attack.
What's happening with you today, mate?
Oh, I had real sharp pains in the chest. And,
did you?
Yeah.
When did that come on?
Felt, a couple of hours ago, and a bit over a couple of hours ago, and I felt real faint and...
Yep.
And what do you call it, clammy and...
And have you had this pain before?
No. Oh, well, yes, I have. I've had a pain before, but it was from reflux.
Yep.
But this one was a real, like 2 real sharp pains.
Reflux is a burning pain caused when acid spills out of the stomach.
I'm just going to have a little push on your chest as it's sore at the moment.
It can mimic a heart attack. Pete can't take any chances.
Does that hurt at all?
Oh, I feel pressure there. But
you do feel something there? All right. We might put you in the aircraft first, get you on the bed there, and we'll do a bit of an assessment there, and then we'll see what we find and go from there.
We don't muck around with that sort of stuff.
He'd had the pain in his chest after he made the call. Then I said, well, it's a bloody good thing he did, because, I mean, what are we going to do if you cark it out here? Well, not a lot of that, I suppose.
So we'll just have a little look at what your heart's up to, a bit of a tracing. We probably should be taking you to a hospital of some sort.
The closest available hospital is Royal Hobart. But to get there, Polair 72 needs to refuel.
My father had a heart attack about 18 months ago. Yeah, to feel that pain like that and then realise, that I was stuck on an island in a remote area. I mean, I was worried.
All right, first things first, let's get you strapped in.
And we are ready to lift off. 30% torque, so good, and lifting off. And rotating. Clear doors.
Potential heart attacks are always time critical. Longer time frames for treatment can lead to further damage to the heart muscle and lead to worse heart attack or longer recovery time.
It's a short flight to the refueling station. Stuart needs a blood test to determine if he's had a heart attack.
We can't really exclude heart-related chest pain, and without a blood test, we can't do the blood test in the field at this stage, so hospitals are the place that he needs to be.
The blood test must be completed within the next 2 hours.
Yep, that'll be enough fuel.
The Westpac helicopter is the only way to get to hospital in time. And if Stuart has had a heart attack, he may need surgery.
Has that nausea settled for you? Much better?
Yep, clear doors. Lights out.
And we have
It's a bit inclement out there.
We're flying with the wind or into the wind?
Sideways.
It's the only thing we can do, really. It's in his best interest, so...
Yeah, I suppose we don't have much choice, do we? And the alternative's not real flash, so...
I was thinking I didn't know what was going to happen, that I had to rely on these guys to be able to come and get me, you know. Yeah, it's great. It's great that, you know, that this service is there to be able to do that. Because there was no other way for me to get off the island.
Holiday 72, got you in sight there and report on the ground, right left.
Tails clear of the light pole. Roger. Tails clear of the fence. You can never be too careful with chest pain, so, you know, that's just what we do.
Lismore Base Hospital, the helipad. And a major emergency is unfolding.
So we've just had an emergency call come through from the Westpac Rescue helicopter telling us that there's been a motor vehicle accident. An elderly woman's been struck by a car. She's got some significant lower limb injuries and has also got unstable blood pressure.
The high-speed air transfer has given this patient the best chance of survival. It was a freak accident. The victim is 81-year-old grandmother Valerie. Aircrew Dr. Matt hands the patient over to the ED staff.
She's an 81-year-old lady who at approximately 9:30 to 9:40 today was at the ATM on the main street in Maclean when a driver of a car nearby, I believe it was stationary, had a seizure at the wheel and accelerated into her. Her left foot, partial amputation through the midfoot, probably caught the brunt of the force, and she was pinned supine underneath the front bonnet. She's had some low blood pressures, other medical problems. She has a pacemaker, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, COPD.
With the handover complete, the emergency team steps in.
G'day Val, my name's Reese. I'm one of the emergency doctors, okay? There's going to be lots of people doing lots of things to you just to get you assessed, okay? You just let us know if you need any pain relief or anything, okay? All right.
Val's medical history and injuries are cause for serious concern.
Got an elderly lady who's been involved in a trauma and she's got an unstable blood pressure. Not exactly sure where the bleeding's coming from, but we think it's probably coming from the pelvis.
Hey!
Sorry. That's really sore. Need to pop a bit of pressure on it.
Val's severed foot must wait. The priority is to stop any internal bleeding.
Is there one side that's sorer than the other?
Only the left leg.
This is the first time son Steve has seen his mum in 3 weeks. He's had the flu, so he stayed away. And now he's facing his son's worst nightmare.
When I first walked in the resus room, I was pretty shaky and worried, but I was glad I could see her and talk to her and held myself together in front of her. It was very hard to hold yourself together in front of your mother when she's bashed up like that.
Go.
This is 6-year-old Lily. She's been riding motorbikes with Dad Graham since she could walk. Today is a special day because she's about to watch a video her dad thinks she's finally ready to see. To put the fears of her past to bed.
As stated, 2-year-old female thrown off a quad bike, unsure of the speed yet. Obvious deformity to the left forearm.
As a 2-year-old, Lily fell heavily riding a kid's quad bike at a friend of her dad's bush property.
I'm Cameron, we're going to look after you, darling. Yep.
She was rescued by the crew of the Newcastle Westpac Lifesaver helicopter service.
So she screamed straight away when she fell off, screaming, I was trying to pick her up, screaming.
Bye, Lily. See ya. It was funny when they said bye, Lily.
I know.
They can laugh about it now, but at the time, things were pretty hairy.
It was just like a freak accident. I just picked her up and I knew straight away that it was broken. Yeah, we just kept her still until they came and, yeah, the chopper flew over and...
Dad, you should have got me a neck brace.
Oh, yeah, you should have had a neck brace on. You've got one on now, though, or when we ride today.
Count to 3 again,
One, 2, go.
Lily was on a weekend visit with Dad Graham, who found himself with some explaining to do.
I'm a single dad, mate. I've got to take her home to her mum, yeah? Yeah, she's not going to like it.
Daddy getting into trouble by Mum.
But she was okay, wasn't she? Yeah, she was good. It was definitely a bit overwhelming. Didn't really hit home until the chopper came that it could have been, like, worse. Ready?
Not every medical emergency is life-threatening, but every rescue changes lives.
Feeling good? Lil's she's very active, she's quite a lot of fun, loves adventure. Yeah, very outdoorsy, we don't spend any time inside. She's great at school and very cheeky.
Lismore Base Hospital. And 81-year-old Val is bleeding internally after a car lost control and pinned her against a wall.
With any elderly patient, any significant injury is more dangerous just due to the fact that they are elderly with some significant other medical problems.
Big deep breath for us, Val.
Son Steve knows his mum's life is hanging in the balance.
She's 81 years old. You know, everything's sort of knocking her, getting her against her sort of thing, but just got to take it one at a time and see what happens.
The ED team does a CT scan to find out where Val's bleeding from.
You've got a little break in your pelvis there and one of the bones, and there's probably a bit of bleeding from that. Okay, and that's why your blood pressure's so low. Okay, the doctors here, the surgeons and everything are involved, and they're going to try and figure out the best way to manage that. Okay.
Val needs urgent surgery.
Left foot on was told that it's all smashed beyond repair, so they're going to have to amputate.
Squeeze my hand off. They're just wrapping it up now and then they'll stop pressing it. They're just wrapping it up nice and tight.
We'll just have to cope with that when she comes out of it, and like I told Mum not to worry, we'll cut a bit of an iron bark tree and slap it on the bottom of her and level her up and she'll be right. At this stage it could be touch and go. You right?
Steve's sister Lynn is trying to hide her shock.
I rang my 2 beautiful daughters and got one home from work.
Come on, don't you be like that. If she sees you like that, that'll do her in.
A tough and close-knit family. All they can do now is wait. 1 month on, and Valerie is slowly recovering.
Is it healing properly?
Yeah. Oh, I suppose it is, I don't know.
Her damaged foot had to be amputated, but she's as tough as nails and is keen to say thanks to the medical staff and the air crew.
Oh, look, they were fantastic. They never left me on my own, you know. There was always someone there with me at all times. Oh, they deserve a gold medal, that mob. They were just, they were just fantastic. They really were.
Tonight,
brace yourself.
Irina's Gold Coast holiday terror.
G'mo. Hold there, I've lost sight of her.
It's our last walk before we get married, yeah.
Ed and Ash's wedding hike adventure.
You just see bits of the track now, if you can call it that.
Hits the rocks. And the cord on Brett's parachute snapped.
Line broke about a second from impact.
Where is he now?
Where's winch? Winching in
Hobart, Tasmania. An emergency beacon has been activated in the state's remote southwest.
The coordinates are got in place somewhere here below the summit of Federation Peak, somewhere in this area.
Federation Peak attracts only the most experienced climbers.
The beacon's registered to a guy from Launceston. There's some indication from that it's a party of 4. And obviously you know from this area that if we get a beacon, it tends to be something fairly significant. So we best get down there and see what's going on.
Thanks, airborne, it's over.
You generally don't get to that location unless you're very experienced, and when you run into trouble there, unfortunately it's generally pretty bad.
Aircrewman Josh is worried.
Last time I came to Federation Peak, unfortunately, was very bad circumstances. Someone fell off the mountain and died. To be honest, I'm nervous.
This is the climbing diary of 29-year-old schoolteacher Ed and his fiancée, 27-year-old nurse Ash.
Why are you filming me?
It's because I love you.
You love me, what? So corny. It's coming together at last, which is handy.
Very excited.
It's our last walk before we get married, yeah.
Ed's brother Rob and partner Kitty make up the rest of the party.
We should be standing on top of Federation Peak in about 4 days, eh? Yeah.
But their dream to conquer Federation Peak has come to a terrifying halt.
I can see Federation Peak at 12 o'clock.
Majestic and intimidating.
It's not often the peak is not in cloud.
The ascent to the summit of Federation Peak is a vertical 200-metre climb.
They're the coordinates. All of that is exceptionally steep.
The degree of rescue difficulty will depend on where on the mountain they are.
If it's on the actual ascent to the summit, that's going to be difficult.
We're coming around to the ascent track.
You can just see bits of the track now, if you can call it that.
Yeah, I think I've got them here at 9 o'clock. Just halfway up the ascent track.
The crew's worst fear is realised.
They're on their climb to the summit.
It couldn't get much deeper than that. You see that there? Looks like a thermal blanket on a guy.
The guy in the blanket isn't on the climbing route. He looks like he's off track.
That's Ed in the red jumper, and he's not moving.
How the hell did he get there?
Burleigh heads the Gold Coast. And Westpac Lifesaver 45 is on a routine surf patrol, 50 kilometres of coastline from Surfers Paradise to Tweed Heads.
Can we go back around?
Aircrewman Paul spots something, a holidaymaker in distress.
Sure, there might be someone in trouble back there. Got a lady in a black shirt there.
The woman in trouble is 54-year-old Irina. She's from New Zealand, visiting her daughter Dasha, who lives on the Gold Coast. Dasha left the beach for lunch, but Irina wanted one last swim. Irina's a long way from the flags.
She's stuck in a rip here.
And she's caught in a deadly rip.
Can't see any lifeguards at the moment. Only 200 metres south.
The lifeguards haven't spotted her yet.
Can't see anyone north at all.
It's job on for the air crew.
We'll have to go and get ready in the back winch rescue. Roger.
Rescue crewman Tim gets ready. He's been in the service for 9 years, but this is his first winch rescue.
This woman could be a mother, could be a wife. She's definitely someone's daughter. But if I don't get down to her quickly, they're going to lose someone very dear to their hearts.
2-metre waves and a surging rip. An inexperienced swimmer could drown in a matter of seconds out here.
Okay, winch me down.
We don't know how long she's been in this Rrip for. We don't know how long till she actually does fatigue. All these unknowns, you've got to act straight away just in case she is on her last legs.
Just holding there. Gibbo, there's a wave just coming through. I've lost her. She's gone under the water.
Brace yourself.
Hold there, I've lost sight of her. Gibbo.
At Burleigh Heads, a dramatic surf rescue is unfolding.
Brace yourself.
Hold there, I've lost sight of her. Gibbo.
In his first ever winch rescue, rescue crewman Tim's battling to save 54-year-old tourist Irina.
I've lost her. She's gone under the water.
The powerful surf pins Irina to the sandbar.
And I found her.
Get your hands up. We've got to put this tube around you. Try and keep your head above the water. Go and keep your head up.
Another wave's coming.
Right, brace yourself. Ready?
She's gone under again.
Irina fights to catch a breath.
Are you okay? You good?
Tim's got her. Ready to take the weight.
Rescue crewman Tim must keep her calm and hold her tight to keep her from going under again.
I don't want you to fall out of the harness. All right, brace yourself. I'm going to take you into the shallow water. We can't take you onto the beach just because of all the sand. We'll brace yourself so we don't hit too hard.
Tim needs to time this to perfection. Too deep, and they'll be back in the Rrip. Too shallow, and it'll be a rough landing.
We're coming in now, ready?
Head down on the beach. He's disconnecting her. Good job, Tim.
Now I'm going to take you off the hook. I need you to walk to the beach. Walk straight up the beach away from the helicopter. Alrighty, are you sure you can walk up the beach?
He's pointing up towards the beach.
Irina is grateful, but a little shaken.
And I've got the thumbs up and then I'm ready to winch.
Power's good, clear to winch.
Roger, winch again.
In his first winch rescue, Tim has helped save a life.
Good work, Timmy. She was so lucky. Another minute or so, she was gone.
Well, we're lucky we sort of came in when we did. Mate, good job, Tim. She looked like she was in a bit of trouble in that Rrip, buddy.
Tasmania, the Eastern Arthurs Ranges.
I'm right to go now.
And the crew of the Westpac Rescue helicopter is about to attempt a complex winch rescue.
Roger, I have the con.
29-year-old schoolteacher Ed was climbing with his fiancée Ash. They made it to the summit of Federation Peak, but during the dangerous descent, Ed lost his footing and fell 10 metres onto jagged rocks.
5, 4, 3.
That's him, directly below the helicopter, and he's still not moving. They're 1,200 metres above sea level. Josh and paramedic Dave aim for a metre-wide rock ledge.
That's going to be tricky.
Pilot Yaz and rescue officer Matt
Continuing to winch out.
have to land the boys onto that tiny drop zone.
1, hold, position's good, hold. Winching in the slack, get ready to take the weight. Up 5.
ground.
It's a perfect landing.
Position's a good hold.
Okay, are you guys right?
Thumbs up.
Climber Ed is alive.
Hope the thumbs up. Yes, looks like they're going to be a while. I'd suggest we go find a landing site.
Launceston and flight plan route. Maintain 8000 Canley to departure. Squawk 2.
Ed is lucky. He's right on the edge. There is literally no ground beneath his feet and 600 metres below him. He's on the last ledge that would have stopped anything falling.
Paramedic Dave has managed to climb across to Ed. Ed's leg is badly broken, but he'll need to be moved. He's in real trouble.
We have to get Ed across to where Dave and I were winched in. We just simply can't winch him from where he is at the moment.
The rescue drama has only just begun. Federation Peak, Tasmania.
I'm not convinced you want to take this boot off.
And 29-year-old Ed has a suspected broken leg after falling 10 metres off the side of this mountain.
We just simply can't winch him from where he is at the moment.
Before they can winch him out, paramedic Dave must stabilise his leg.
I've got to put my splints over the top of your boot.
But there can't be any pain relief.
The weather's coming in. Mate, I don't have time to give you any pain relief, and I need you quite sharp. I'm just going to fold this ham splint around your ankle. I'm going to bind it on extremely tightly. It's going to be painful.
Using a stretcher here is out of the question. After he's roped into the harness, Ed will have to move himself, despite his broken leg.
Ed, my name's Josh. I've got to get you in this harness. Can you lift your legs up for me and I'll put these loops on? I'm going to tie you in. I need to get you across to where we're winched down.
The sleet is blowing in and the GoPro is freezing up.
It's going to be painful, mate, okay? We need to get you going.
They need to get off the mountain as quickly as possible.
Okay, Ed, you're doing well, mate. Eyes up at me, buddy. Yeah, take your time, but just move towards me. Like, take your time, but don't stand on that leg. Hey, Ed, watch that rock, mate. It's loose, but don't put any weight on that rock, okay, buddy?
Ed's fiancée, Ash, controls the tension of the rope.
Eyes up at me, buddy.
She's given her engagement ring to Ed for safekeeping.
Bum shuffle over.
With any luck, that wasn't the ring. This was Skydiver Brett on his 1400th jump. In a matter of moments, his life will be changed forever.
The actual line broke about a second from impact, so I had no time. I had enough time to say, oh no.
He's landed feet first.
Hit the ground on his left side, then tumbled, and then that was it.
Brett was rescued by the crew of the Newcastle Westpac Lifesaver Rescue Helicopter Service.
You're wincing pretty badly, mate.
That wincing is totally understandable. Brett suffered a badly broken pelvis, internal bleeding, and a broken leg.
We're thinking there might be a break up high here.
Yeah, I think there is, yes.
It is going to hurt when we move you, okay?
Yep.
In order to tend to Brett, the crew removed his jumpsuit. That's why he's lying there in his undies.
Oh, I guess there's a lot of things going through my mind, but the main thing was thinking of my wife, Kat, and my eldest daughter, Matilda, and because I knew that they'd watched me land, and they'd watched me land hundreds of times before, and normally fine, but this particular one was a bit different. If that line had broken a second or two earlier, it would have been fatality, and that's how close it was, so I really, I do realise that it was lucky that I'm here.
Brett needed 5 months off work to recover, and while he still loves skydiving, his narrow escape made him re-evaluate his life.
I really love being a dad, going on bike rides and doing normal father stuff, so it's been a big life changer. All right, let's put these on show.
Brett's lucky undies, as seen on TV, were auctioned off for charity, but remain in the club as a reminder to all.
Yeah, that's me. Me claim to fame.
Federation Peak, Tasmania.
We've been able to move the patient to the winch location.
Injured climber Ed has managed to crawl his way to a safe winch zone.
It's going to be 2 winches.
Roger, copy and understood.
Ed and his fiancée Ash will be winched out. Ed's brother Rob and his partner Kitty will need to walk out on their own.
Our mission's to move forward to the target area. We're going to be winching in the paramedic and the patient in a harness.
We both have to stay really low here.
Yeah.
With a 100-kilometre downdraft from the helicopter, it's a case of don't look down and hold on tight.
Paramedics reaching for the hook.
Ed's first, heading up the wire with Dave.
Now he has the hook.
We can't get a stretcher in here. We have to take you up in the patient harness.
I have the thumbs up, winching in the slack.
It's going to be painful, okay?
Winch power on.
Just try to protect your foot as much as you can. There's a fair chance it's going to bang on something once we get to the aircraft.
Yas works hard to keep the helicopter steady.
Just approaching the skid, stop checking the skid, that's fine. Continuing to winch in. They're coming up to door level now. I'll be moving my head in. You have the con.
Ed's safely on board. Ash is up next.
I need you to stay really low and just hang on to the rock.
Booming out now. Continuing to boom out.
She's putting on a brave face, but this must be terrifying.
You don't want to go left or right. It's bloody steep down there. You just hang on and please don't move. Hook's coming down.
Josh needs a clean catch on the hook.
I've got the hook. You're connected. You're good to go. Over to you.
They've hooked up.
Okay, Ash, we're ready to go. Keep your arms down. Just keep your arms down.
Continuing to winch in. No swing. No spin.
The last time Josh was on this mountain, it was to retrieve a body.
Okay, Ash, watch your head. Got my hand on your head. Let Drummy do all the work. He'll pull you into the aircraft.
This time, the outcome couldn't be better.
The whole rescue went really well. Ed is a very lucky man. Now it's just a matter of getting him to hospital and get him checked out.
The only thing missing is Ash's engagement ring. It turns out Ed didn't drop it, but he did leave it behind on the mountain. At the Hobart base, Josh and Dave have received a video message.
Look what I got from Ed today.
Look at that.
From Federation Peak.
So the wedding's still going ahead. I should be out of a cast by then, hopefully. So it'll still be hobbling around for a little while yet. So
Is he still plastered?
thanks heaps, guys, for all your hard work.
As to the ring, the pack that Ed left behind was retrieved several days later.
We got the ring back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
But the big news is we're expecting our first baby.
Together.
Yeah.
Tonight,
Have a male clean to the rocks.
frozen with fear
Now, I've got police rescue moving to the area as well.
and clinging on for life.
Geez, I don't know how long he's got holding on there that tight.
Where's the best spot to land?
Mr. and Mrs. Wu's horror road trip of a lifetime.
Every minute that we get delayed could mean the difference between life or death.
And perilous mountain weather
Pretty thick that cloud out to our right, isn't it? It's just getting thicker and thicker up here.
threatens the mission to save schoolgirl Gemma.
Good afternoon, Westpac Lifesaver Helicopter, John Klopp speaking.
The Westpac Lifesaver Rescue Helicopter Base, La Perouse, Sydney.
What we have is a person clinging on the rocks near the bottom of a cliff at Lurline Bay, so we need to get going straight away.
Got a male trapped on the cliff. Bit of a concern that he may fall into the rock zone and get washed around with the incoming tide.
At this stage, we're not sure whether the person's been in the water, he's had a fall off the rocks. All we know is that there's a person on the rocks at Lurline Bay.
The man in trouble is Dennis, a regular eastern suburbs beachgoer.
Got nothing here so far.
Lurline Bay is notorious for its large and unpredictable swell. Aircrewman Trevor knows the dangers well.
Nothing in the water at this stage, Simon. Repeat that, nothing on the left.
If they do fall in the water and he tries to get back up, people have been severely injured and even killed from trying to get back up to the rocks.
You're on target side at 10 o'clock. I have a male clinging to the rocks. Now he's in a bit of a bad way. I've got police rescue moving their way to the area as well. I'm not sure if they can make it to him.
Dennis is soaking wet and exhausted, clinging on for dear life, and the police rescue squad can't get to him.
He looks pretty precarious, doesn't he? It does. Geez, I don't know how long he's got holding on there that tight.
The Westpac Rescue Helicopter Base, Tasmania.
We've got an accident at Buckland, 4 patients. 2 were unconscious, now 1's unconscious.
A horror head-on smash and multiple patients in urgent need of help.
It's a notorious bit of road, actually. It's really windy and hilly. One of the hills is called Break My Neck Hill. So, just to give you an example.
We're taking them out or just putting them up? You're just taking them out.
There's a lot of traffic on them, there's a lot of tourists. So, if there's any accidents, they tend to be high speed and they tend to be head-on, so they tend to be nasty.
The seat's out.
Oh, good. Perfect.
Yep, we're going. Yep.
Tourists in a foreign land.
Just giving you some pain relief now, okay?
Husband and wife Hong and Sher Wu were on a dream road trip around Tasmania. Now they're fighting for their lives.
Where's the best spot to land?
Just north of the crash site, I reckon.
Down below, it's a disaster zone.
Doors coming open.
And there's no place to land.
That road's going to be no good, is it? It's too high on one side.
Yeah.
Paramedic Keith has 13 years in the field.
On the way to a job like this, it's always concerning because we don't know the extent of the injuries. Every minute that we get delayed could mean the difference between life or death.
Right, we're going to land up the road, mate, if someone come about us.
So it's just paddock, 3 o'clock.
That's it.
Paddock, 3 o'clock.
Just got to come over these trees and then you can come down.
Right, skid's not clear.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, and straight down there. I'll go and have a look at gates and stuff.
The local police are on the scene.
There you go. Good mate, how are you?
And it's a good thing too, because the paddock gate is locked.
You go up to that house, just ask if they've got a key, but it'll make it real easy if we get an ambulance through here.
Mick and Keith need to get to the crash site. They hitch a ride with their police colleagues.
She's down here, I reckon.
I can see both cars are a write-off, and I can tell that the injuries are going to be pretty serious.
This was Mr. and Mrs. Wu's first trip to Tasmania.
Can you bring this knee up at all or not?
The occupants of the car they collided with are already on their way to hospital. And ground paramedics have stabilised Mr. Wu. It's Mrs. Wu who's critically injured. But all she can think about is her beloved Mr. Wu.
I want my father.
Pretty significant impact.
In Tasmania, a holiday road trip has gone horribly wrong for Chinese tourists Hong and She Wu. Mr. Wu's condition is stable. He can go to hospital by road, but Mrs. Wu's injuries are serious.
Hello, my name's Keith.
She needs an urgent airlift, and paramedic Keith needs as much information as he can get to manage her care.
She was lying on the ground, but she hasn't ambulated at all. Chest is right clear, but it's a lot of pain down around this, pelvic area.
Mrs. Wu speaks broken English at best, and Keith can't speak Mandarin.
I would say,
we're not sure whether she's confused
it's hard to know.
Sore, pain?
She's desperate for news about Mr. Wu.
I wanted my husband.
I was talking to your husband. He was asking about you. He was quite concerned about you. So we're going to take you to hospital first.
They're trying to tell Mrs. Wu that Mr. Wu is okay, but it's hard to know how much she understands.
I wanted my husband.
She just wants him by her side.
I can't imagine how horrific this must be for this lady. She's on holiday. She's just been involved in a horrific car accident. She's in a lot of pain. She's worried about her husband. And because of the language barrier, we can't even reassure her that her husband's okay, and we can't even reassure her about her own condition.
As to the locked gate blocking access to the rescue helicopter, the local fireys have come up with an ingenious solution.
Instead of cutting the lock off, the fireys have actually undone the hinges on one side of the gate, which means we can swing the gate around, and then we can put the gate back without doing any damage. But
paramedic Keith still has grave concerns for Mrs. Wu.
She's had a really decent impact, some high speed, and really concerned. She's just got some bruising on her tummy, and she's got signs suggestive that she might have a fractured pelvis as well.
And she's still highly anxious about her husband's welfare.
I wanted my husband.
I know, soon.
Seeing is believing, and Mrs. Wu hasn't seen Mr. Wu since the crash. That's him on his way to hospital. All the rescue crew can do now is get Mrs. Wu to emergency, and fast.
It's hard to kind of understand how bad her pain is, and just got to really go on facial expressions, grimacing, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And turning right. Yep.
Okay, below 60 knots. Check cabin security, clear doors.
Doors coming open.
Also clear.
It's clear of the fence.
Pleasure.
Over.
You can up straight down the middle.
Coming down.
Pleasure.
Want to run.
Okay, shutting down.
Where's my husband?
Husband soon.
The language barrier made it difficult to communicate with her. I was trying to comfort her the best I could. It's a good feeling knowing that she's in safe hands now and she'll be reunited with her husband soon.
Lurline Bay, Sydney.
I have a male clinging to the rocks.
And the crew of Lifesaver 21 is on a mission to rescue beach lover Dennis.
I've got 2 police rescue squads, probably about 25 metres from him at the moment.
He's clinging precariously to a cliff, and the police rescue squad cannot reach him.
Looks like he's wet too. We don't know how long he can hold on for at this stage. He's probably very fatigued.
If Dennis slips, he'll hit those rocks below for sure.
We should get Johnny down there quickly. This will be watching Johnny down for patient with him. Let's go to watch our down there.
Dennis needs to be winched to safety, but the downdraft from the helicopter is putting Dennis and the police rescue squad in jeopardy.
I think we'll have to do it a little bit higher, Trev, so we don't blow him off.
In Tasmania, A call for help has come in from an injured hiker trapped on the Cradle Mountain overland track.
Off to Waterfall Valley Hut up at Cradle Mountain. Low weather, a bit of a cold front's coming in today. 60% chance that we'll be able to get up there.
But the looming storm front is threatening to derail the mission.
Clear to Cradle Mountain, not above 2,500, pole 722.
Police officer Mick is a local. He knows how dangerous the Cradle Mountain track can be.
The weather on the overland track changes constantly. 1 minute it can be sunny and fine, and the next minute it can be snowing and covered in cloud. If you get into trouble up there, the only way you can get out is by helicopter.
The patient is 17-year-old schoolgirl Gemma. She was on a charity walk with her classmates to raise money for mental health when she fell and injured her ankle. The group continued on with their hike while she stayed here in this cabin under the care of school teacher Greta.
Pretty thick that cloud out to our right, isn't it? It's just getting thicker and thicker up here. It's just not safe, too risky.
I don't think we're going to have much luck up here.
Heavy cloud cover is blocking the helicopter's entry point.
So I'm not going direct at this stage, guys. I don't think we'll get there direct, so I'm going around the back.
It's the right call. A break in the clouds gives the rescue crew a window in.
All right, guys, I'm just going to slow it down. I'll get you to open your doors up, sorry.
That's all right. All clear on the left.
Roger that.
Clear right.
Roger. Okay, just watch the...
Clear on the left, no, it's clear, come straight down there.
Clear right. They look pretty ready, don't they?
That's Gemma in the grey jumper, all smiles knowing she's about to head home.
G'day.
This is Gemma.
Hey Gemma.
Teacher Greta.
G'day. G'day.
And I'm Sarah Bosch.
G'day.
Paramedic Derek.
Hey Derek.
Yeah.
Police officer Sarah and paramedic Derek hiked in last night.
So happy to see you guys.
They've strapped Gemma's damaged ankle so she can walk. It's not quite the complex retrieval mission the crew was expecting, but no one is complaining. Gemma can manage the short walk to the helicopter, but there's no way she could have handled the 10-kilometre hike out.
Stay there for me.
Just in case you feel sick.
Everyone's in, mate.
All right, fantastic. All right, guys, so everyone's secure in the back, everyone's happy, throttles are full.
Yeah, we were airborne out of Waterfall Valley Hut.
Just a wee little bumpy until we've got out of this little...
Low cloud and strong wind. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Bit of a wind coming out from our left as well.
Which is not good news for Gemma, because this is only the second time she's travelled by air. Motion sickness has taken hold.
Gemma probably wishes she'd walked out. I've never seen anyone fill up a bag before.
How you doing? You alright? Yeah, alright.
Frequent vomiting can lead to dehydration. And there's still 30 minutes to go until they reach Hobart.
Just wondering, Mick, she doesn't look like she's having a very good time.
Paramedic Andy has to prioritise Gemma's welfare.
How about maybe trying to get some other form of transport back to Hobart?
From where?
From Devonport.
Yeah, I think it's much more sensible to go to Devonport.
Devonport Airport it is. And for Gemma, soon can't be soon enough.
Right, guys, we'll be landing in a few minutes.
Roger, cabin security's good.
Roger that. I'm probably happy to keep the doors closed unless there's...
Yeah, we don't want any vomit.
Pole traffic, helicopter Pole 72 is joining the left base now for landing runway 12. Pole traffic, Devonport.
72.
Show us on the ground in Devonport, thanks.
Bring out this side.
Gemma's horrible hiking adventure is finally over.
Beautiful.
and so is the motion sickness. Solid ground at last. In Lurline Bay in Sydney, beach lover Dennis is frozen with fear, clinging desperately to a slippery cliff face.
We don't know how long he can hold on for at this stage. He's probably very fatigued. We'll just have to watch out now, boss.
I think we'll have to do it a little bit higher, Trev, so we don't blow him off.
Dennis was on a cliff walk and wandered off the path. He toppled into the ocean, got knocked about by the swell, and then dragged himself out and onto the cliff face. The Westpac Lifesaver Rescue helicopter crew needs to get him out before he loses his strength and his grip.
Double check him before I put him out. I'm all happy. Clear to put him out?
Clear to put him out.
And just going out onto the skid now.
You have the con.
And clear to start winching down.
Clear to start winching.
And tell main are clear.
This winch requires care and precision.
I don't want to push Johnny into him and knock him off once again.
Now very gently, mate. I'm just going to put him down on this ledge just above him at the moment. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Got the thumbs up.
Rescue crewman Johnny works his way carefully over the jagged rocks to a very terrified Dennis.
Looking very slippery down there. Jesus, lucky we got to him when we did.
I need to get the harness around you.
But Dennis is refusing to let go. He's frozen stiff with fear.
You need to let go, buddy. You need to trust me.
The slightest slip now, and it's all over for Dennis.
The guy's very cold, he's wet, he looks traumatised, and he doesn't want to let go of the cliff.
Johnny guides Dennis's arms into the strop.
He's getting the first arm on the collar.
But still, he won't let go.
Buddy, let go of your arm. You gotta trust me.
Finally, Dennis releases his grip.
Keep your arms by your sides. I've got you.
And clear to start winching up.
Start winching up.
And winching up now, mate.
The police rescue squad are still in danger from the helicopter's downwash.
You are all clear to move left 20, mate. I'll just get them out over the water, away from those jagged rocks.
Pilot John moves the aircraft up and out to sea. It's more time on the winch, but it's the best option.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Coming up over the skid, coming up level with me. Bringing him inside.
Dennis is cut and bleeding, but thankful.
That's the beauty of the aircraft with the winch. Once you deem you can do the job safely, it gets the patient out of that environment very quickly.
Tonight, a 000 emergency.
So 4x4, Southeast Forest National Park.
As best mates go missing in the bush.
You're really looking for a needle in a haystack.
That's an overturned boat there. There's people in the water there.
An amateur shark dive turns deadly after freak waves cause chaos above.
No one's still under the boat?
And a father and son forest trail adventure goes horribly wrong.
He's just come off his motorcycle, maybe spinal.
And now the paramedics can't get in. Moruya, on the south coast of New South Wales. And Westpac Lifesaver helicopter pilot Sam is responding to an urgent call for help from the local police.
G'day, Sergeant. Yeah, we are available.
The police are mounting a search for these two men, four-wheel driving mates Scott and Darren. They've been missing for 48 hours now. Lifesaver 23 is needed to play a crucial role in the search.
It's a 4x4 in the Southeast Forest National Park.
5 days ago, Scott and Darren took off for a few nights in the bush in their four-wheel drive, but they haven't been seen since. When Darren didn't turn up for work, a worried colleague rang the police. Grave concerns are now held for their safety.
One of our main concerns is going to be food and water and whether they've had any, and also whether they have any injuries.
That's if they find them and they're still alive. The crew has an enormous task ahead of them. The Southeast Forests National Park covers more than 1,000 square kilometres.
Once we get into the search area, we're going to get into our search formation. We'll open the doors and we'll slow down and then get quite low.
Ground crews are standing by on high alert.
G'day, Sergeant. It's Lifesaver 23 here.
The helicopter is the critical eyes of the search.
Low-level searching doors.
You're really looking for a needle in a haystack. You could cover so much land and still miss them because they're under a rock or between a tree or under a canopy.
Is there a road down there, Josh? I'm going to try and pick up on that.
Their best chance of success is to follow the four-wheel drive fire trails and hope that the two men stayed with their car.
The first thing is to locate the fire trails from the air. The trees are very dense and the trails are only periodically available to see.
After 2 hours of searching, a breakthrough. But not on a fire trail.
Is that a ute on the edge of that river down there, mate?
In a river.
Yeah, I can actually see an orange jacket or something lay down on the beach.
The orange jacket is an SOS.
That's their ute in a river. I think you've nailed it, Josh. I can see the four-wheel drive and I've got that orange jacket.
The four-wheel drive's there, but the two mates are nowhere to be seen. Botany Bay in Sydney. And the crew of Lifesaver 21 is on a routine training exercise. Or so they think.
That's an overturned boat there. There's people in the water there, clinging to the hull. What, seriously? Yeah, seriously, mate.
They've flown into a very real emergency situation. Sometimes rescues happen this way. Sheer good luck.
Looks like we're going out of a training sortie here. We're going to a job.
Rescue crewman John is straight into action.
And crewman's at the door and clear to remount the skid.
The dive boat has capsized and is going down fast.
We've got 4 heads at this stage.
Amateur scuba divers Bill, Keith, Natasha and Ken had spent their morning diving with sharks. This is Keith's underwater camera footage. All was going well until a series of freak waves flipped their boat and left them stranded in open water.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and hold. Crewman's in the water.
Rescue crewman John has a huge task on his hands.
Everyone okay? No one's still under the boat?
So much for the training mission.
This is a high-pressure situation. We have 4 people in the water. I don't know their condition. We need to get them back up to the helicopter.
Businesswoman Natasha is hooked into the winch harness.
And clear to winch in.
I'm going to winch you up first. Keep your arms by your side. Don't reach up when we go up.
She was trapped inside the boat when it flipped.
20 above the water. 10 below the skids. Coming up to the skids now. Coming in the door now.
She's freezing cold and distressed.
First guy was in the seat. He's just securing into the seatbelt. Secured in the seatbelt.
Ready to go again?
Yep, moving to the door. Clear to winch in. Clear to winch in. Got it connected up.
Flipping him over to the door.
1 safe, 3 to go.
Get the water now.
And as John returns, there's a new emergency. The boat owner, 68-year-old Ken, is in trouble. He can't remove his tanks, and he's starting to panic.
Calm down.
Definitely down, that's their ute in the river.
The vehicle belonging to the missing four-wheel driving mates has been spotted deep inside the Southeast Forests National Park. But the men are nowhere to be seen.
Is there any way to land? The trick here is to find some shorter trees.
In this dense bushland, there's no chance of a landing.
It's going to be a winch job. That's not a bad spot to winch in there, kind of.
Yep. Moving Josh into the door.
Josh needs to get down to recce the situation to try and locate the missing mates.
I'm automatically thinking nearest fuel, nearest hospital, or nearest possible ambulance.
He's kitted up with a first aid and basic survival kit, including food and water, in case he has to stay on the ground.
Number of right only 5. And he's off. Okay.
Josh heads to the riverbank. And miracle of miracles, they're alive.
Hey, mate.
It's Scott.
How you going?
And that's Darren in the background.
You guys are all alright?
And neither has a scratch on them. The big question is, what happened?
Sorry?
Got a flat battery.
Okay, yeah.
Turns out their four-wheel drive got stuck in the river when its battery failed, and they couldn't get any mobile phone reception.
The situation down here is they've got a flat battery, both sides are all good.
I'll quickly call the police, let them know.
Scott and Darren are extremely lucky to have been found.
Well, this is Lifesaver 23. We've located the vehicle.
They've already eaten the last food, and you can see in their faces that sense of relief of we are actually going to survive this.
Get any big?
No, we put a yabby, but it was
Job done. It's over to the police.
Joshy, the police are going to send somebody out to give these blokes a hand, so they'll just have to sit tight until the police get in there.
Beauty, gents. Well, I'll feel free to come up to the base in Maria when you're back and have a cup of tea and we'll have a chat. No problems at all. We'll see you soon. At least it's a nice spot to get stuck.
Beautiful and treacherous.
Maintain that height.
In Port Botany, scuba diver Ken is in trouble. He's fatigued and his tanks are dragging him under.
I've got to get your tanks on.
Rescue crewman John tries to calm things down.
Stop wriggling and let me help you.
I'm waiting for a hookup.
It was a training exercise that turned into an emergency. Air crewman Trevor navigates from above.
He's got to work hard. He's got to get those tanks removed. Once he does that, he's got to get the rescue strap around them.
Ken fights hard to free himself from the tanks.
That's it, well done.
Patient strap is on.
He's finally secured to the winch cable.
We give it a signal. Clear to take the weight. And winching in.
Ken's stressed and winching him up won't be easy.
Get your hands down, get your hands down. Don't reach up to the helicopter, I'll slide you in.
In a remarkable twist of fate, the retired policeman who spent his lifetime helping others in danger is the one being saved.
He's fully in. Are you okay? Not injured?
They're all fine, but there's not enough room on the chopper for their two friends who are still clinging to the sinking dive boat.
We're going to drop you back and then we're going to come back for the other two.
2 safe, 2 to go. Lifesaver 21 is in the middle of a deep ocean rescue.
3, 2, 1 and hold.
The rescue crew has already dropped off scuba divers Natasha and Ken to safety.
5 above the water.
The high drama has attracted onlookers. The remaining shark spotters, Keith and Bill, are clinging to their sinking boat.
Are you guys okay? I'm waiting for a hookup. Patience drop is on.
Engineer Bill is exhausted.
Clear to take the weight.
It's okay, mate. Just relax.
Through the water now. Position's still good. Height is good. And just going to bring him on board. He's coming on board now.
One more, Tony.
3 safe. 1 to go.
And winching out.
This is John's 4th back-to-back winch. It's a test of his stamina. Last man off the overturned dive boat is Army Officer Keith.
Wait for a hookup.
Just calm down.
John has got his last man.
I have a signal. Clear to winch.
Keith is cold and shaken.
Stabilising that. Underneath the skid. Coming up the skids now with the patient.
Down below, the boat is doomed.
Coming in the door with the patient.
But thanks to the Westpac helicopter, the 4 scuba diving friends have a great yarn to tell their families.
Okay, so we'll put them out once we get to the base, mate.
Good job, guys.
Bridge North, Tasmania. And 54-year-old Michael and his son James are exploring the forest trails north of Launceston. But today's adventure has come to a terrifying halt. In Hobart, paramedic Dave takes the call.
Fractured leg. Supposed to be there shortly. It's a male in his 50s who's just come off his motorcycle. He's got a leg injury, maybe spinal as well.
That telephone call was from this vehicle, but the ambulance is bogged, and they're now hiking their way in to help Michael, who came off his motorbike at speed, right in front of his son James. He was the one who called the paramedics. It's a time-critical mission. Heli rescue is the only way to get Michael out.
I've got that target, Dave, on the right-hand side.
They've located the crash scene, but the tree canopy is just way too dense to land.
Definitely not going to be landing in there or doing a hover exit.
I agree. A bit further up the hill, I think it looks like there's a bit more of an open bit on the truck.
They spot a gap in the trees up ahead.
Shuffling over the door now.
But getting paramedic Dave down safely is going to be a challenge.
Moving out now. Continuing to move out. Touching down on the ground. Winching in the hook.
Hey, buddy.
Local farmers help the bogged paramedics get to the scene. They've already administered first aid to Michael.
How's it going, mate?
This is Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Michael, this is Dave. Coming down the hill, the bike's fallen over on top of him. Got a fracture, was angulated.
But Michael's still in excruciating pain. No one likes seeing their dad this way. Son James is the unsung hero here today.
I was terrified. I thought he really hurt himself, and he actually did. Yeah, then rang the ambos straight away.
After careful assessment, the paramedics have ruled out spinal injury, but his leg is badly broken.
That leg hurts. Oh, that leg hurts.
Michael has just been given ketamine for pain relief.
The pain.
It's a powerful drug, but it can also have strange side effects, inducing an altered state of consciousness.
Freaky, man. This is like ice.
And it's starting to kick in. Paramedic Dave has to be careful not to administer too much ketamine. Michael is a big man and he has to be kept conscious for the winch up.
I want you to have a little bit of pain, but are much more conscious. I don't want you to panic and flail around. This is the most dangerous part of our job today.
Bridge North, Tasmania.
He was coming down a hill and he must have fell off and, I don't know, got his leg stuck between the bike. I was further down, I heard him screaming.
54-year-old Michael has a badly broken leg. He's been carried 200 metres from the crash site. Paramedic Dave is preparing him for the winch up to the rescue helicopter.
You might feel a bit, claustrophobic, but you'll be okay. You're all wrapped up, you're like a cocoon, you're very safe.
Michael's son James is toughing it out, trying to stay positive.
Dad, I'll see you later.
See you, mate.
I love you, Dad. You'll be right, mate.
Yeah, I love you too.
You'll be all better soon.
Yep.
The winch up is going to be tricky.
It's very windy. That's just totally normal, okay?
The downdraft is super strong.
Dave has the hook.
Well, you're well protected, you're very safe.
Stretcher is connected. He has the ground line in his hand. I have a clear thumbs up.
How's the foot, Michael?
Pitching it now.
Michael, okay, mate, stay still. There's a chance you're going to bang your foot on things, but you just got to suck it up for the time being.
Position is good. I'm continuing to winch in.
The stretcher has to be guided up at just the right angle.
Stretcher's about halfway up. They've not been able to move much further. I'll keep winching in for another 10.
The last thing they want to do is get it caught under the helicopter.
Doing well.
10 below the skid.
The stretcher starts to spin.
Take your time. Doing well, mate.
But aircrewman Josh gets it back under control.
Bring the stretcher up to door level now. Ground line is released. Now bring the stretcher in the cabin.
Michael is secure. Dave can also now be winched up. Son James can finally breathe a little easier, knowing his dad's in safe hands.
I was a bit worried at first. It was so far in the bush and I didn't know how useful it would get to me. I know he's safe and he's going to get better.
They're angels without wings.